landscape and a portrait live stream on YouTube together at once. That is the sneaky thing that really should be easier. If you don't have these previews with both different streams, making sure they both got the different keys that you're going to post in the relevant spaces in OBS, then it's probably not going to put them both live. So you want to set up YouTube to stream live both landscape and vertically. But maybe you've hit a bit of a snag, or like me, you were doing something just a little bit wrong, because there's actually a couple of steps that you have to do in a certain order to make sure it works when you're streaming, at least like I do through OBS using Aitum Multi and Aitum Vertical plugins. By the end of this, you'll know how to get both of those outputs to YouTube properly. We're not going to look at OBS today or Aitum plugin. If you want to know more about those specifically, then there's a link down below to another video where I'll brief you over that as well. What do we have to do first? Well, first we got to go to YouTube. Pretty sure you know how to Google that, find it. Go into Chrome or whatever web browser you use, search that up, log in. I'm not here to show you how to do that bit. The important parts are next. Here we go. So this create button, you'd click that, right? If you didn't realize, that's there. That's how you can go live, even just directly through the YouTube app itself. That's going to take you to this little window here where you've got a preview window, you've got your setup, bits and bobs you can use to type in there. If you don't know if it shows you the scheduled one, it's really easy. It's that one. Click on that. Okay. This normally pre-populates with a stream key. You'll need the keys. I say keys for a reason you'll find out in a second, because you paste them somewhere into OBS. There's a couple of important bits, like I said, that you need to do first though. Don't use this one. Whatever you do, unless you're just streaming one vertical or landscape, do not use this ad hoc one. It's not going to work for you. What you have to do actually is set up 2 scheduled streams. So click onto there, schedule. This will probably be blank for you. As you can see, I've already got 2 set up. One, if you can't see that, vertical. The other I've put as 1440. I named them slightly different just so I know which one's which. All right. So it's very simple. And then at least then I get the titles the correct way around. Yours will be blank. So to fix that, go over to the right. You'll see scheduled stream just up there. Click that. That will normally just be blank for you. You'd create something new. See that there? Hit that. Now, if this doesn't look a little bit familiar, like in the ad hoc, just very simple. Details of the stream, the description. Highly recommend just putting, fairly simple title, but differentiate it. So if this is for landscape, put landscape or 1440p or 1080p or wherever it is that makes you know that it's that one or the other. Description, I would highly recommend put something not too long. If you use ChatGPT or anything like that, ask it about that bit and then just paste some of what it says in there. That might help towards SEO. I'm not here to teach you about that, or leave it blank. It's your choice. You want to make sure that you've got streaming software selected. Otherwise, it's not going to know to look for OBS. Category, pick whatever you want, all that good stuff. Add a thumbnail. I would recommend at least selecting something just as you can have as a blanket thumbnail rather than letting it pick it, because it can catch you, especially if you have a camera on, in some awkward looking positions. So yeah, I would add something really simple, just a picture or something. I've used this one before, which is like an about me that I use and some introductions and stuff. Really, really simple, bosh. Playlist, if you want to add it, I'm not going to show you all this stuff, but you click next after you put a title in. Let's just do a quick title. Click all those bits, choose what you want. Now, here's another bit that you need to understand a little bit more about. Visibility. Here's the thing, and it may or may not be simple, so I'm going to explain it just a little bit very quickly. If you leave it as public, as a scheduled stream, it's just going to show on your page somewhere that you intend to go live on that date at that time. So you have 2 options here in my mind. You can either just leave it public because you're going to set 2 scheduled streams up and just use them to go live whenever you want to go live, or you leave it unlisted, which basically means people can't see it. The trouble with unlisted is if you forget to change that when you want to use it, people aren't going to see it live unless you share them the link. If you can remember to, and you consistently know how to do it, then click unlisted. At least then it won't show and you won't have anybody thinking you're going to stream on whatever day and time this is. But for now, I'm going to leave it as public. You'd hit done, and it's going to create you a stream that's scheduled at that time, that date. It's going to ask you to select a key, and away you go. Do exactly the same process for the vertical or landscape, but make 2 scheduled streams. Once you've done that, you should find that when you open one of them up, this is the landscape one for me. You'll see down here in the name, 1440p. Now, the other important bit is to have 2 separate stream keys. Without the separate stream keys, When you try to put it into somewhere like OBS, it's going to recognize it as one stream and it's going to mess up. Now to change that, again, it's fairly simple. All you need to do is go over to there, create new stream key, click that, give it a name, give it a description. I wouldn't worry about turn on manual settings. You can if you want, but I don't think you need to. Press done, create. I'm not going to do that because I've got some already. You should be able to figure that out. Once you've got 2 stream keys, just set one for the landscape and it's going to remember that for that one. And then if you set one for the vertical, look, that's already number 2. It will remember that. And if it doesn't, just find it or create it, inside it, click it, and it will remember it for the next time you use that schedule stream to go again. Because what you'll find is when you go live, go back out of there, go live, my schedule's here. Yeah. We click on one, it'll go into it. It remembers that the landscape, last time we used it, had stream key 1. Right, back to the 2 streams. Now, you've created your landscape. You've created your vertical. See the name changes there as I flip between the 2? Very slight difference. All this stuff here can be the same. That's fine. You know, the low latency bit, that's all the same. The only real differences for me will be the title and the stream key. But that's not it. That's the sneaky bit here is, and that tripped me up many, many times. Before you press live on Aitum to go live on YouTube or both outputs, what you need to do is have them both up on a tab. And I would suggest doing it separately like this, so they're not hidden and there's no chance of Chrome or whatever web browser you're using putting one of the tabs to sleep. Because when you go over to press live on OBS, it will initially show you the preview here. So it connects to it, okay? It's not going to do that until you press the live buttons. If you don't have these previews with both different streams, making sure they both got the different keys that you're going to post in the relevant spaces in OBS, then it's probably not going to put them both live. That is the sneaky thing that really should be easier. So that's the big step that you need to make sure you've done. Set up the 2 streams, make sure they've got separate keys, and then before you press go live in the Aitum multi-stream bit, make sure you've got both tabs open. And then when you press them both, you can watch, make sure that you've got a vertical and a horizontal ready to go. Once you've done that, like I said earlier, as I promised, you will have landscape and a portrait live stream on YouTube together at once. Small teeny weeny tip on this: when you go to finish with OBS, you ended stream or whatever, you want to end your YouTubes here as well as Aitum. So click off Aitum, make sure you have these up somewhere. You can actually get rid of them when you go live. Once you're live and the preview show, you can actually just X out of it, minimize it, whatever you want to do. You don't have to leave them up to know that it's live still. But once you finish stream, it's definitely worth ending it on Aitum and then ending it inside here too, just to stop any kind of lag or weird looking end of your stream. And the only last thing to tell you about is you might have heard that there is a new feature that some have access to, others don't, called Duel Stream just here. That's not necessarily what you think it is. And you might think you got access to it when you don't. I thought maybe I did because I Googled something that said everybody's got access to it now. We tried it and I couldn't see it going live. The idea of this is from YouTube that you could have one output or one input from OBS, like ideally your landscape horizontal, and then they'll make you a portrait out of that. That's great. If you are a just chatter and you're in the middle of the screen, fantastic. And if it was just gameplay and you don't want to be seen necessarily in the vertical, then that's fine. If you can, once you get access to this, this will be kind of a cool way to do it. It's a little bit simpler. But for now, for people like me, where my camera's usually off to the side, I'm showing something to the other side. The gameplay is probably fine, but effectively, I can't change what that vertical or portrait bit sees in dual mode. Once they allow you to kind of pick where things go, it'll work much better. But for now, it's worth knowing it's there. And sure, try it, see if it works for you. But I would probably advise that it isn't quite ready for you yet. Unless, like I said, you're doing like a just chat and you're in the middle of the screen, so people are going to see you. Because if you're off to the side, that vertical, when they flick through their shorts and they come see it, I don't know if that's going to be something that they are then more curious about, to think, oh, I can't see some of what they're showing. I'll look at the other live. It's probably not going to happen. They'll flick past it. Versus if you're in the middle or the things you're showing are in the middle, a bit like my vertical thing here, look. So you see that? In my verticals, you've got kind of what I show off and then me. And there's other scenes, obviously, but largely that's kind of what you want when you're showing things off if you're not fully in the middle. Whereas you're not going to see that just with this showing in the middle of your stream. Wouldn't make sense. All you'd see is like this section here, which isn't the one, is it? Anyway, that's it for now. To go see how to set up OBS and Aitum vertical, click the link in the description below and that'll take you to the video there. See you next time. Bye.